For my photo essay, I've chosen the role of a leader in the managerial position, and we're going to get into why each one of these characteristics that I have chosen is important in their own way. The first characteristic that is important in the leader role is endurance. In this picture, we have some ants that are carrying leaves that are hundreds of times greater than their own body weight. They always seem to find the drive when the going gets tough. I think that it's important to always give 100% effort when you are in charge of something and trying to figure out if it's a sprint or a marathon and what will it take to get across the finish line. This will also allow you to overcome difficult obstacles, and that is some energy that coworkers will see and they will feed off of and also want to do something great. The next characteristic that I've chosen is decisiveness. And in this picture, we have a game of whack-a-mole. And in this game, moles pop up very quickly, and you don't have that much time to react on which one to hit. So I think that this is a good depiction of the role in the managerial position because it's important to be able to make decisions on the fly, especially if there's a problem, you need to be able to solve it quickly to keep the ball moving. This also eliminates downtime so productivity can be maximized. We need to be able to make tough decisions quickly that align with the goals and objectives of the company or the project that we're working on. The next characteristic is integrity. And in this picture we have a gentleman that's being knighted in by a queen or a princess to the royal family. And back in these days, this was a major sign of good faith, somebody who is just and trustworthy and has good morals. And I think that this is important in a managerial role because it creates a rapport with your coworkers, and they need to be able to believe in you and be able to trust that your decisions are going to be good ones and not ones that are going to have a negative impact on everybody around you. Your decisions must be just and respectable by everybody that they will affect. Another important characteristic when being a leader is knowledge. In this picture we have a father and son that are fishing together. And for me, some of the greatest advice that's ever been given to me was while doing this with my own father. Now when you're a leader in a managerial position, you must know a process so your people have confidence in you, whether it's your team or your coworkers. It is also important to share the knowledge because knowledge is power, and the transfer of knowledge also shows that you respect and you want to keep everybody else on board with the goals that you have in mind. Another important characteristic when being a leader is to be resilient. And in this picture we have James Franco from the movie 127 Hours, where he was exploring a remote canyon and fell into a crevice where he was trapped and could not free his arm. During the next few days he had to make the excruciating decision to amputate his own arm. Now I know that this may be a morbid example, but I think that it fits the script perfectly. When being a manager, it's important to be able to recover from adversity quickly so that we can keep the team moving and in a positive direction. It is also important to deal with the ups and downs that business may throw at you so that we can achieve the results that we need in an effective manner to keep things going. Another characteristic that is important when being a leader is to have empathy. Now in this picture we have two gentlemen, one that's a little exhausted and is struggling to continue, and the other one has the energy to continue. Now normally somebody would just run by this guy because they want to finish before him, and they're looking out for number one. Now when it comes to the managerial position, it is important to have empathy because it makes others feel more comfortable. When people present their ideas and you acknowledge them, it makes them feel appreciated. Everybody wants to be heard and understood where they're coming from. It takes a lot of effort for somebody sometimes to bring their ideas to the table, and when you neglect their ideas, they may not want to share them again. So when you make the room for somebody else's ideas when they're trying to contribute to new processes or systems or something like that, it makes them feel more comfortable. The next characteristic that we have is self-awareness. And in this picture, this guy is asleep, and he's literally watching himself sleep. So he is very aware of himself. When you're a leader, You have to be self-aware so that you know your strengths and your weaknesses, so that you're constantly trying to improve. You must have humility and not believe that you are better than anybody, especially when you're in charge of a team of people. You need to understand who you are as a person and how you come off when you're trying to um, motivate people or when you're trying to get results out of people. We are all people at the end of the day, and not one person is better than the other just because they may make more money or they may be in a higher position. So we must understand who we are first before we understand the others around us. Another characteristic to have when being a leader is to be motivational. Now this guy is an Ohio State Buckeye nut, and if you watched any of their games, then you've seen this guy there. He's dressed up like this, and he's present for every single game, going absolutely nuts on the sideline. So when you're in charge of people, you have to be a cheerleader for them. You have to keep people on task, and this will provide the motivation when you're in their corner to keep them going and to keep getting results. You need to be that extra boost of morale to keep people moving. And at the same time, you need to set achievable goals because this gives them a rewarding feeling. Also, having an upbeat attitude so your team will want to be on the same page as you will also earn results. People will see you in a good mood or excited about what you're doing, and they will be too. They feed off of this. In this picture we have the Marvel character called Cyclops. And Cyclops can shoot lasers out of his eyes with extreme focus. It's important to be focused and to keep others focused when you're leading a team of people. There might be a lot of distractions in the place of business, and it's important to keep people on task. You need to stay on track to be productive, and small goals will keep people focused. Clear perception and understanding of what you're supposed to be doing is crucial to being successful. Also crucial for other people to be successful, because at the end of the day we are all here to achieve one goal. Another important characteristic when being a leader is to have courage. Now if you're not familiar with this cartoon, there's this little pink dog and his name is Courage, and at the same time he's the cowardly dog. Anyways, they live out in the middle of the desert, and his two owners are always wrapped up in something with monsters or something that people would typically be scared of. Courage conjures up the courage to save his owners because he loves them. Now it's important to have courage when you're in charge of people or a team, because you need to have the mental strength to overcome difficulties. Not everything always works out how it's supposed to be. You need to have a strong mindset for those who cannot have a strong mindset. And this also transfers into the realm of innovation. If you don't have the courage to innovate or step out of the box that you're inside of, then how do you expect to continue to earn results? You need to take chances and believe in new ideas, believe in other people's ideas. This will ultimately allow a company to evolve and maybe turn into something that is more successful than they were before. And if you don't have the courage to do so, then this may not be in the future of your firm. Wrapping things up here, I just want to touch on why each of these characteristics is important. By attaining each of these characteristics, you will become more of a people person and more versatile as a human. Your team will respect you and believe in you, trust you also, which these are very important in themselves. If you can achieve all of these traits, people will enjoy your company and maybe be able to get over the bias that everybody hates their boss. These traits earn results for the company and create a comfortable, motivated atmosphere for everybody that is involved. Thank you.